I attended TCT 2016 and was impressed by the variety of 3D printers and exhibitors at the event. I met Joseph Crusoe, saw some amazing innovative launches firsthand, but hopefully no more 3D printed sugar candy. I've been warned by my robo-dentist already. A few of the highlights of this year's show was Dr. Adrian Bauer, the founder of RepRap, receiving an award in the 3D Printing Hall of Fame, and myself getting a rare chance to meet some online colleagues offline, such as 3D printed Aspie, Plastic Cowboy, 3D with Us, Chimpus Maximus, etc. TC was so large I didn't even get to see Evans models and Spanner Hands, who were also in attendance.
Hi, AfroPed at TCT with WASP David Neary and the amazing chair, which apparently was printed in how long?
5 hours and a half.
5.5 hours, which is unbelievable, really unbelievable. What size nozzles did you have on that?
We have used the extrusion system for pellet, the 3MT industrial with the extrusion system for pellet. That is a 3.5 millimeter nozzle.
And which printer did you use?
Which printer?
Was it this
we
one
have
here?
used the 3MT, Delta Wasp 3MT. That is a multi-tool machine. It's 3 meter tall, actually. And it's a multi-tool unit where you can use a pellet extrusion system as we used for the chair, or we can use another extrusion system, the Spitfire, for filaments.
Okay. How long has WASP been going for?
WASP project was born in 2012. The company CSP was born in 2002, and we are based in Italy.
Based in Italy?
Yes.
Okay, this is your first time at TCT?
No, we were at TCT also last year, and this is our second time.
Second time,
yes.
Okay, thanks for coming back and letting me see some of your stuff.
Yes, we will.
Yeah, you mentioned that your printers are quite fast. I noticed the one behind you here, which seems to be really shifting it.
Yes, this is the Turbo 2, Delta Wasp 2040 Turbo 2. That is really the fastest 3D printer, desktop 3D printer in the market right now.
How do you see your company developing? I mean, you've been going for 2 years now, since last year and this year, and I'm noticing that you've come back, you've revisited TCT this year. Does that mean things are really good for you at the moment?
Yes, we are developing a lot of projects, because behind WASP project we are researching in 6 main directions. One is house, so we are scaling up our 3D printers in order to 3D print low-cost houses using natural materials, like exactly, like mud and straw, for instance, on one side. Then another research in which we are working is health. Another one is art and culture. Another one is energy. Another one is digital fabrication, and the chair is an example of it. So our vision is to develop projects coherently with these 6 directions, and then to develop products in order to finance the big vision and the research and development for the big project.
Okay, brilliant. I'm looking forward to hearing more about you in the future. TCT 2017, Afro 3D printer with WASP. Thanks so much for
Thank you very much.
Your time up. Thank you. Okay, E3D Online at TCT Birmingham NEC with Greg from E3D. Hi Greg, how you doing?
All right.
Busy day.
Very busy.
Can you tell us just very briefly about what's happening here today and how you're doing and new products, whatever you do? I know you had a lot of products come out over the last year since the last ECT. You had some new heads come out, you had some new filaments come out, and also I understand they've got some new products coming on the line.
Yeah, we're always innovating as much as we can. Today we're premiering the water-cooled Titans, which is just over to the side there.
There you go.
A new range for heated chambers for high temperature materials. Of course, we've got all of our copper brand nozzles and blocks that have just came out recently as well. We have the Titan Aeros, and the full range of E3D products will all fit on these, all the way from the standard brass nozzles. We've got the stainless steel. We've got copper plated nozzles.
That is looking actually a bit mean, isn't it? That's looking a bit mean.
Yeah, they're
a bit hot,
very good.
Yeah.
Very compact products. Yeah.
What you got there? You got a bit of peak going on there.
Yeah, we've got some high temperature plastics on there. A bit of peak that we've managed to print. Something that we're looking to bring to market in the future. We think it's going to be a bit of a game changer, this one.
I also understand you had some new filaments, like you've launched some new filaments. Can you tell us a bit about those?
Yes, we've got all of our peak ranges coming out. We've got the high temperature stuff, the Matex products, the support as well, the snap, the scaffold snap, which works with ABS.
Yeah.
Which is just breakaway, that's very good stuff.
Breakaway, so you've been doing the research, obviously.
Yeah, breakaway, it's very glass-like, which is why we call it snap. And very good support material, yeah.
I understand as well that you've had some issues with your big box.
Yeah, well,
that's quite a big story there.
Well,
I think the few minutes we have here, I don't think we can go quite deep into it, but I understand that there were some issues with the Kickstarter.
We launched a Kickstarter, what is it now, maybe 2 years ago, I believe. I think actually it's probably close to 2 years ago now. We did a lot of design work on that. When we were prototyping the machines, we were sent obviously samples to the manufacturers. When we go into production, they weren't quite the same. We had big delays trying to get them correct. When they sent the replacement parts, again, they were wrong.
Okay.
We were further delayed. In the end, we had to put the price up, and we thought it was a little bit too high. We didn't want to stifle anything, so we thought we would close the project down, meet our commitments to everybody that we promised the big box to, and then concentrate again on just our hot ends and extruders.
Any plans of coming back at all?
We would like to.
Phoenix Rising?
The problem is there's an awful lot of cheap printers on the market at the moment, so there's too much competition. You need to find a niche, an area that we can excel in, which is obviously something that we're looking at. Maybe, I'm not going to rule it out, but I'm not going to say we are. You know.
How do you feel like your nozzles being so well cloned? Well, so unwellly cloned, should I say?
Well, they're cloned, of course. I think they're a good. In a way, it's good because people buy the cheap Chinese clones. They look at them. We get quite a lot of emails going, "We've bought this C3D hot end." We have a look at it. Turns out it isn't. We're more than happy to try and help them, give you a little bit of discount because obviously you want the proper one, so we'll help you out with that. We've got a lot of leads.
And how's the future looking?
The future's good. A lot of stuff in development at the moment. We've got expanding on obviously on the water cooling stuff. We're trying to compact stuff down to make it as small as possible. As I say, we've got peak in development. We're looking 7 or 8 months for that. It's
okay,
looking
Billy,
good.
thank you very much for meeting with me.
My pleasure.
All the best.
Thank you for coming.
Hi, we're back at TCT live events. This is a little 3D printing blip for it, and we're with Keith from Magigoo, who's got this Magic Goo. And we're just chatting to Keith about, well, you tell me, Keith, what you're chatting about.
So basically,
I have no idea.
Basically, I'm just giving an introduction to our product. It's Magigoo. So Magigoo is adhesive to prevent warping. So it's been designed completely for the industry. We started 2 years ago, first launch, and iterated a couple of times from then, always improving based on customer feedback. So if you can see
how many iterations did you go through?
So chemical-wise, it went through around 4 iterations, which were like big steps, and the packaging, this is a third big step. So now,
big step. And understand, is it environmentally safe?
Completely environmentally safe.
Cool.
And that's one of the things I was saying, like we designed it completely for 3D printing, and we know a lot of it is in education. So we designed it to be completely safe, even for the user, even for the printer. So we don't say eat it, but you can in theory. I've been there to do it and had to do it.
You wouldn't really eat a Pritt stick, would you?
Exactly. But kids
although when I was at primary school, we had children eating Pritt sticks.
Exactly.
So what we got here, this is the magic box, the Magigoo magic box.
So these are the 2 formats on the market. So this is a freebie, something you get with all the information and also some endorsements. And then you get 3 trials.
Those look like an interesting shape.
We get that quite a bit. Interesting part is just open, and then you tear off a piece of paper, and they're used to apply as well. So
looks like the future.
Yep. Information is here just in case you need, and there are a couple of stands around who give these out. Yeah. And then this is the new packaging. This is the biggest step we went through when we're changing packaging. Now it's completely easy to use. Like, comes in a squeezy bottle, so you can control how much Magigoo you're applying. Also, you have a foam tip, so you just press this down.
Can you hold that for us so we can see that? Okay, yeah, foam tip. Yeah.
just press it down and apply, and that's it, you're done.
So less waste.
Less waste. And one of the good things is that you just apply to where you're going to print. You don't have to spray everywhere. Or,
are you originally a startup? Are you self-funding, or did you get finance backers or aid?
So we started initially self-financing till I put all my money in, me and my partners.
A lot of late nights, I'm sure.
That's still today. No choice. Now we did get some seed funding as well, so we're able to push our marketing and we're able to improve the products. And we just went through a whole series of improving our quality control and production systems. Now it's basically pushing to the next step. We're also developing new mixes. We have one which is in a closed beta phase for more industrial materials. And we're getting new requests for different types of material, which we're also investigating.
Okay. How do you see the future going on?
I think there's too much to actually to see what's happening. You come here every year, you see like the improvement is staggering. You see.
I know it's even a lot larger than last year even.
Yeah.
Okay, Keith, thanks very much for letting me interview you.
Awesome.
Afro 3D printer signing off. Flipbert, TCT Live.
Cheers.
Hi, Afro 3D printer at the Monoprice stand at TCT, live vid blog with Shane Ego for Monoprice. Hi Shane, we've just been chatting recently about how Monoprice is now entering the UK market and want to take over, but not take over, but introduce themselves to UK customers and also European customers. And you mentioned, how long have you been in business for?
15 years.
15 years, which is quite a substantial amount of time. And you mentioned about the original start of Monoprice was doing HDMI cables, is that correct?
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, we thought that we saw out in the market that people, if you wanted HDMI technology, you wanted that kind of signal on your TV, you had to be paying, in the US, you had to be paying $60 to $100, right? And there really weren't other options out there, but that was really, really overcharging for that type of technology. We wanted to get everybody able to get into HDMI and experience what high definition is really like. So rather than charging $60, we charge $6.
And that's the same model that you're using now for 3D printers?
Exactly. So we think that 3D printing is exciting. We think that everybody should have it. We think that especially it unleashes a lot of creativity, especially in education, kids in high school, kids growing up in primary, secondary, are learning how to design. They're learning how to turn things into something that can be produced in 3 dimensions, but they're being limited because to get into it, you're going to have to drop 1,000 pounds, 2,000 pounds, and that is something that we don't think is appropriate because, like most technologies, it actually has gotten more stable, it's gotten more robust, and it's gotten cheaper to manufacture this. And so what we're doing is we're just focusing on how can we make the best tool for an affordable price.
Do you find that making a 3D printer cheaper negates the quality control?
So no, it can, and that's where I think that other people, we are making some of the cheapest, the least expensive 3D printers in the market. So ours start at 200 pounds. But what we do is we make sure that it's going to be a great experience. There are other ones that are low cost, but they're going to break. They're going to be, they're a toy, not a tool. And we focus on making tools that people really want to get behind, and that's what we've seen the success. So we want education, we want hobbyists. People have really been using this across the board because we have stable platforms, really robust platforms. People are using it for additive manufacturing. They actually put up print farms where they're making actual products that they will be selling, going into bigger products or just by themselves, things that they will be selling, because you can, if it's 200 pounds for a printer, you can buy multiples rather than having to pay, the $200,000 printers that are for some of the ones that are in the market.
I know some of your printers are marketed as child safe, HEPA filters, in a box, so auto cancelling, which is open the door up. Is that correct?
We have a lot of different safety features that we have on there. Obviously, we have different printers for different roles. We like to make things as open source as they can. We find that to be
excellent.
Really.
That's what we like to hear here.
Yeah, as it allows people to be creative and allows the community to really modify,
Yeah,
they make it exactly the way that they
on.
want it, right?
I noticed as well you're launching a SLA printer here as well.
Yeah, we think, once again, like just like with FDM, we think SLAs are exciting. We like to have SLA. We like to get more people using SLAs. We found that 3,000 plus pounds is a little pricey to get somebody to get into it.
Yeah.
So we're launching one at the beginning of the year for 700 pounds.
Okay, how do you see your future at Monoprice in the UK? Seeing that you've just started here, this is the launch of it. Are you feeling positive?
Yeah, we really positive. I think how we've been able to become the success that we have seen is really about building a community and really about getting really great products into the hands of that community.
Okay, thank you very much, Shane.
Yeah.
Thanks so much for spending some bit of time explaining how Monoprice is going to work in the future.
Great, thanks.
Thanks again, Shane. Thanks. So, TCT Live Birmingham NEC with Stuart from Ultimaker, one of the founder makers. Hi, sir. How are you doing?
Hi, I'm doing good, thank you.
Yeah. Briefly, we're talking about your introduction to Ultimaker. How many years ago?
7 years ago.
7 years
Six
ago.
and a half years ago. 7 January 2011, we founded the company.
What a memory.
Yeah. Thank you.
You're saying about your philosophy, which I found very interesting, about 3D printing. Could you mind telling our viewers about that?
Well, I've been grasped by the concept of a 3D printer by basically Adrian Boyer made a rap, and he really inspired me to figure out what 3D printing was all about. For the very first time in my life, I encountered like 3D printing is also maybe changing a part of the economics, maybe all of it, maybe part, maybe just a bit, I don't know yet. But I was really intrigued by the fact that I could work on these questions by literally making a machine that might answer these questions.
Yeah.
So for me, the first time that I could do philosophy with my hands. That was
Interesting,
really amazing.
philosophy with your hands.
Yes, really liked that. It was very inspiring to me.
Yeah. What do you think about future generations come along with the advent of 3D printing? Because I mean, now you have a generation of children who have grown up with 3D printing.
Yes.
And it's the same thing with mobile phones, iPods, laptops.
Yeah.
You know, it's something that they're actually grown up with. What kind of impact do you think will have in their lives in the future?
I think it will have a big impact, but they don't know because they've grown up with it. In our perception, it will have a big impact on their lives, but I think they won't recognize it. Like, I think the generation that is now growing up with a smartphone, they don't know the era before, that you had to make an appointment at a certain location at a certain time, and you had to meet out there, and you hadn't got a clue how to get there. You needed a city map, and you couldn't tear it out of your book, so you had to figure out and make a drawing of it. Different, and 3D printing will exactly have that as well. So the kids will grow up with it, except is it normal? And my kids at home, they already do that. They think it's normal to have a 3D printer, although they have a daddy that has got a few at home, and they're only one of the few that have access to it. But I think that in the future will change, and it will also change their mind on having stuff. And talking about philosophy, I think 3D printing is also a question about if you have something, what does that do? Because you can easily make another one and give it away again. So the philosophical question is, what does 3D printing do with greed? I'm intrigued by that. But that's so I hope that 3D printing for them, it will be some kind of a normal day thing, but to enhance their lives and give them the tools and the things that they can use to innovate and create their environment, and as much as in balance with nature and everything around them as possible, because if you don't, well, we eat out the planet already, and we need to find solutions for that.
True. I noticed as well, Ultimaker has a mission statement that actually supports education.
Yes.
And one of the things I have looked at is your schools program.
Yes.
Or schools program, teacher program initiative you have?
We have, there are several initiatives, but it differs from country to country and what suits best in their form of education, because it's not just the schools that have to do an educational package, but it's also how finance is organized in all these countries in supporting all these programs. So what we do is we have great programs in several countries, but we also try to make the countries and the parties that organize it, we bring them in touch with each other so they can share best practices. So they
it looks like a great program you've got going on there. Really great program.
Yes.
Another big milestone
Yes.
I've found out yesterday. Was it launched yesterday? I think it was announced yesterday. Was over 1 million.
Yes.
Not 1 million. Over 1 million.
Yeah.
Cura users.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's something we're very proud of. It's an open software program that we share, and having over 1 million users is just enormous. And
Absolutely
we're very
brilliant.
proud of that.
Absolutely brilliant.
And it also gives us the possibility to even dive more into our software strategy, because we think software is very important in connecting all the infrastructure together to make this local production kind of an organization, make that work.
It's amazing for open source.
Yeah.
Simply amazing.
But also putting the infrastructure together to get there. And so we will release Cura 3.0 in October 17th, if I'm not mistaken. And basically what that enables is that people can start making plugins for the Cura. So we have a structure.
It's been a long time waiting for that,
yeah,
a very long
and
time
now
waiting
finally,
for that.
and we will create plugins ourselves, but it's also open for other people to create plugins in the structure.
There's a lot of talent out there which will really jump on that.
And so being open, that's for us also being open, because there are a lot of possibilities that I can't think of, but people can think of because they have needs to
I'm
create
ready to
that.
think of some already.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Tell me.
Brilliant, thank you. Your latest printer was the Ultimaker 3, which you released last year with the dual print heads.
Yes.
I understand you've got something in the works, Ultimaker Skunk Works, and you won't tell me anything about it. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay, thanks very much for meeting with me.
You're most welcome.
Thanks. Hi, we're here at Afro 3D Printer with Alex at TCT 2017 with Alex Dick from Protoplasta. So Protoplasta?
Yeah.
He's here representing Protoplasta and he's in Birmingham. Can you tell us a bit when you started Protoplasta? When did you start that?
Yeah.
Because it's been around for a few years now.
Yeah, it's been, we kickstarted like a little more than 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Launched the first carbon fiber filament in the industry, and also the first version of our heat treatable HDPLA and PCABS material. So we had very much an engineering focus in the beginning.
Okay. I understand you have got an engineering background in the first place.
Yeah.
And you're building your own extruder. You're not buying it, you're actually building it from scratch.
Yeah.
And you let me into a little trade secret there, didn't you? About your recycled filament boxes where you actually put the code.
Oh no! Now you're gonna recreate our extruders.
So you know, if you're in China, watch out. You may be on a bit of a red herring.
The schematics there too, just in case you need that.
The schematics as well.
There's 6 different.
It may be a red herring. If you don't believe all of it. Yeah. Smoke and mirrors.
We actually again,
that is a nice blue you've got there. That's a very nice blue.
Oh yeah.
That is it comes on camera very nice. Wow.
Sparkly.
2.75. Yeah. So tell us about your mission. Protoplasta's mission or mission statement. Is it to make filaments available to all, custom filaments, or is it your own personal kind of like journey into filament heaven, where you can make your own custom filaments?
Gosh, it's a little bit of all that, but to be honest, we can continue to want to work on access to get more people connected to our product. We think that the access of the desktop 3D printers is what's wonderful about unlocking like the greater creativity of folks. Certainly a lot of the filament creation has been about like tapping into our own creativity and interest and sharing it with folks. So we want to bring like a higher level of possibilities.
You did some pretty custom filaments. These are pretty custom filaments. I mean, pretty individual, unique. Yeah. Really unique.
It's very like small batch artisan kind of flavor.
That's a good one.
Yeah. I mean, that's the culture that we kind of live into in the Pacific Northwest, Portland, you know, Seattle, California.
Sourdough,
it just feels very natural, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
So, but so you know, if you're tired of just like solid color, shiny plastic, like our biggest, like, I guess if you call it a mission, would be to give you, the user, an opportunity for something more, something different. So adding texture, maybe low gloss, maybe high gloss with some sparkly bits, doing just specialty inspirational things like use our Christmas tree to make a special edition pine filament. The composites is certainly a strength of ours, the carbon fiber, the steel, the iron, and I love taking like probably my favorite filament is still the iron, being able to take something that's made with technology and like make it look old. Yeah, exactly, rust it up. And it's so easy to do. It just takes a matter of minutes.
How do you see your company going? You know, because I know you're quite a small company in the greater scheme of things.
Yeah.
And I know you do very small, unique batches of filament.
Right.
But you know, with the growth of your company and the growth of demand for unique filaments, and even custom filaments.
Sure.
How do you see yourself moving forward with that? Are you able to do capacity, or are you going to keep it unique and small?
Well, I mean, we certainly aren't. It's not in the near term to like go high volume production. I think in knowing ourselves and knowing our like value and contribution to the industry, it's about keeping it interesting and unique. There's a lot of high volume producers of shiny, you know, solid color plastic. I think we want to leverage what opportunities come our way, what inspiration. I think we're always questioning and trying to be dynamic with the market to learn what makes the most sense. So
well, it looks like you're going global by coming to the UK. That's
yeah, there you go.
That's a start.
We do have some local resellers here. So 3D Philiprint and Hawk 3D Proto, as well as I think iMaker and E3D might still carry a bit of the older stuff. But 3D Philiprint and Hawk 3D Proto are more active with the new stuff. Well,
that's making us like to experiment. So you know, keep on doing what you're doing.
Yeah.
Thanks again, Alex, for giving your time to me, and hopefully we'll chat again soon. Thanks a lot.
Thanks.
A big shout out to Filamentum and Magigoo, who are rocking at the show at the Filamentum stand, and for Filamentum allowing us to have some fun around their exhibition stand. At the end of this video, if you'd like to buy me a coffee or support me via Patreon, please feel free to do so. It's not obligatory. You don't have to if you don't want to. But I would like it if you follow me to click the subscribe button and the little bell. Thanks again for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Later.